Hello people, welcome back to the episode of Relating Me and You and Me through YouTube, and here I am with another video which is actually about my favorite beauty YouTuber, that is Robert Welch. He is actually a professional makeup artist, and I thought let's just twist this video around, and instead of doing my makeup used to YouTube style, which I generally do, let's just follow the tips that Robert Welch gives. So I am going to follow all the tips and create this base which is looking absolutely stunning in real life as well as on the camera. I am sure it is looking very nice, but this makeup is actually looking equally nice in real life. That's actually a big thing, because generally when you do your makeup YouTube style, in real life it looks a little cakey. I don't want to offend anybody, but yeah, that's the truth. The YouTube style makeup looks real cakey in real life, but this one is looking very natural and very beautiful. So if you want to see what tips and tricks I am following, and just in case you're living under a rock and you don't know who he is, I am going to drop his channel's link in the description box, and you should go and check it out if you are interested in beauty content, because you will get no better tips in this whole YouTube than Robert. So you should go and check him out. And yeah, without me much blabbering, let's just directly get into the video. Let's begin. So first things first, I'm going to tie my hair back so that they are out of my face and we can do our thing. Yeah. So the first thing we are going to start with is priming, and the first tip that he gives for priming is
by using too much product, your skin's going to get to a point, even in certain areas, where it's like, actually, I don't need this moisture, I don't need this hydration, I don't need this much product on my skin, and you're going to get a slippy layer, you're going to get a really uneven tone on the face, your product might start to separate here, separate on the cheeks even.
That you don't need anything in excess, because he says like you need to think about your skin type and work according to that, because nothing in excess is going to be good for your skin. It is just going to reject everything. Whatever excess you're putting on it, it is just going to keep what is needed, rest it is just going to reject, and then your makeup will not look as flawless and as nice as it should. So I am going to use this Farsali Unicorn Essence for my priming, because I want my makeup to look nice and dewy, and I'm using this for that. He also says that you don't have to drip products on your skin, because that way you generally go excess with the product. You always put more than you need, but in my case I have not done that. I have made sure that I use the product as much as I need. So I'm just putting this across my face, nicely blended it all over so that my face has a tacky base to stick to the products that I put on top of it. It will nicely stick to this tacky sticky base, and this will also keep my skin looking a little dewy and shiny. So yeah. And also he mentions that certain areas of your face sometimes can be extra dry, or can have some other issues, like different parts of your face can show different issues. Like rest of my T-zone is very oily, but this region, if you see, that is extremely dry and pigmented. So I use a little extra product here to make sure that it gets all the hydration that it needs. And the next step that goes on is that for every product you have to give it some time so that it settles down into your skin, nicely penetrates, so that you don't just layer the products, because that way your makeup will look cakey and will not look as beautiful and as natural that as it should. Hence you should give every product some time. So I'm going to give my primer some time to settle in. Till then I'm going to do my brows, and we'll be right back. And for the brows, he gives us a tip that whenever you are starting filling in your brows, you should start from somewhere the middle where you want the pigmentation the maximum, and not here, because then it would look very block, because the pigment will stay here where we don't actually want. We want that nice ombre to go on. Like if you see our natural brows, there's not too much hair here, but if you see this region, it is very nicely filled in. You know, you have a lot of hair here and then a nice tail. So that is what we want to follow. Hence, whatever product you have, whether it's a brow powder or whatever, I am starting with a brow powder, and you can start filling in from here nicely fill in wherever you have your sparse region. And then whatever product is left, just fill that in at the starting, because as I said, we want that ombre going on, so not too much pigmentation here. Now if you see my brow, it still looks very natural but nicely filled in and clean. And now as my brows are done, my primer has nicely settled into my skin, and I'm going to start with the base, that's my foundation. So for the foundation, the trick is that whatever foundation you take, by the way, I'm not telling the products I'm using here, you can obviously go and check that in the description box if you're interested, because here his tricks are more important than the products we are using. So I'm going to take a little bit of foundation, that is what he says, like a little bit, and I am going to combine another trick of his, that is this flat brush.
But it's the flat foundation brush. And this is kind of a very underrated brush. I don't really reach for it myself. A lot of people just use it for face masks. And I guess the reason people don't really use it is because it kind of just drags foundation around the face, especially if you're holding it flat against your face and just dragging out this way. If you have one of these, the best way to use it is to team it up with your beauty blender. So start with this brush first. But the way you want to come in with this brush is at this angle. So you're holding this tip right against the skin, literally at this angle, coming in like this. And what you want to do is almost flick on the skin. So flick, 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 flick. You're gonna get a really quick application.
He says that we all use it in a wrong way, and I agree, like the way he said. We just drag the product with this instead of nicely applying it. We just use it to apply face mask, or some people even apply foundation with this in this manner, where you're dragging your foundation and just creating a layer all over. We don't want that. We want the foundation to blend. So what he says is, whatever foundation you have with you, take it on the tip of the brush, start dabbing it like this, and he says this should work much better comparatively. Let's see. So we are basically doing the same motion that we would do with a beauty blender, but in this case just with this flat brush. Now if you see, one side of my face has foundation while the other side doesn't, and yes, it is looking very nice. It is looking very well blended. There are no harsh lines or streaks going on over my region, and at the same time it has provided me with good coverage. So I think he has corrected me, because even I used to use that dragging motion, but I think this is looking much cleaner, and at the same time also the product I am using is much less otherwise. Now if you see, all the spots that were there here at this region, the acne marks, they are well covered. So it is giving me a finish like a beauty blender only, but it is not soaking up as much product as it would, like as much as a beauty blender would do. See, just one pump and I still have so much foundation on my hand. I have almost covered half of my face. And now next thing we are going to go for is concealer, and his most famous trick among all is how to use a concealer.
What I want to focus on is the darkness in this area here, and also this kind of like reddy tone that I get on the outside corner. I get a bit of discoloration there, but also what that does for me is it bounces light off this area, and then I put a little bit of concealer in this area here, and that bounces light off this area. You guys would have heard me say this quite a bit as well, scientifically, you know, in science, and then also like photography, flashes, things like that. Light comes forward at an object and then bounces off. So if we're highlighting this area here, light is going to come forward into our face here and then bounce off this way. This is an amazing trick if you're a bride and you want your under eyes to look really bright and, you know, nice and natural, but you don't want to cake on concealer. This is a really good technique to use.
He says that you just need one dot here and one dot here. That's all you need for your concealer for the under eyes. And now the trick here is, he says that you have to blend your concealer and apply your concealer only where the light is going to strike on your face, like the light reflect when it comes from here, the light reflects this way. So you don't really need a concealer all over your under eye because the skin there is very thin, and if you put too much product or you layer too much product, it is just going to drag down and age your skin faster, which we don't want. So just this one dot, he generally prefers to use a finger, and so do I just prefer a finger over sponge or anything else for my concealer anytime. So you see, this is also going to give a lifting effect to our face. If you see this here, the concealer that I have applied, it is nicely blended in this region and also lifted my eye a little bit. So that's done. And now for the inner part, again just keep dabbing it here, and then you can take a little bit here on your nose, but you don't need to spread it anywhere else, just here. And the warmth that your finger is going to give is actually going to blend it very well. So I still took too much of product, but yeah. Whatever excess product I've taken, I'm just putting it on the other inner corner of my eye, because anyways it is too much, so it will just do the work on the other side. Just dabbing it on place. And whatever is the residue that is here, he said that you can take in your under eye. That would do the job. And now you see it has blended so well, just with that 2 tiny drops. And the fingers do the best job. I always agree to that the fingers do the best job when it comes to concealers. I'm going to do my other eye also. A very tiny drop on the inner corner and a small tiny dot on the outer. Then again blending it out on place and just lift it a little bit here to give that lift. And then blending the inner corner on place, taking it little bit on the nose, and whatever residue you have, go that to your rest of the under eye. So this way you don't have too much of product also, and at the same time you have your concealer well done. And the next trick is going to be about contour, bronze, blush and highlight.
About blusher, bronzer, contour and highlight, and how they kind of need to stack and layer up on the skin rather than packing them all on top of each other. I see a lot of like tutorials on Instagram where they do this patch of like bronzer or contour here, and then the blush is here, and then the highlight is coming over it, and you get this really muddy grey undertone kind of finish. We want to ombre our products, like fade them in and out. So I hope you can see layer by layer we have contour, bronzer, blush, highlighter. This way we stop any muddy colour, we stop patchiness, we stop uneven like skin tone, we get more of a run in, more of a natural looking, can't see where something stops, can't see where something begins kind of finish.
So according to his trick, you need to have some specific regions, because this is generally for not applying your highlighter on top of bronzer, because that would make it very ashy and muddy. So you should have 3 separate regions, one for contour, one for blush and one for highlight, and then bronze has a specific region which we will come to. So I'm going to use this V-Face Duo Stick for that by Maybelline. I'm going to start with this region right here, just above the hollow of my cheek. I am not blending it, just to show you. And then I'm using a cream blush on my finger, and your blush should be placed above your contour. It should not be on the contour. and this is how I am doing the placement of my blush. It is not on the cheekbone because your highlighter has to come on this region, which is your cheekbone. This is where your highlighter has to come, so it has to be above the blush. Then taking a tiny bit of cream highlighter, a gel actually, I'm going to take that also on my finger, tiny bit, just very tiny bit. And then this is going to go above your blush, and this is how it should be. So your contour, your blush, and the highlighter. And now I'm going to proceed with the bronzer. So I'm using this Faces bronzer on a powder brush, nice powder brush, taking a decent amount. I'm going to go over my contour region and little bit over my blush, but never over a highlighter. Do not ever go over a highlighter. And my next step is going to be a powder. And if you know Robert and you watch his videos, you definitely know how against he is or how anti caking the person he is, and I can't agree any less to it.
Who have been subscribed to me for a while and watch my videos, you will know that I absolutely despise baking. And I have my reasons, and I'll share those later. I've been doing makeup professionally for about 12 years, and I have never once baked a client or felt the need to, or baked my own makeup, except when I tried it in this video. Didn't go so well.
Because even I tried baking initially when this came into trend and all, but then I soon realized it is not for me because my under eyes are dry and it never just works well for my eyes. So what he says is, take your powder on a powder brush and a very tiny bit, like really tiny. You can see I'm almost dusting off all of the powder, and then I'm going to start powdering it from the region which is most oily for me, where I know that my oils is going to penetrate to my skin very easily. So I'm starting from my T-zone. That is what he says, like just apply the powder where it is needed. Why do you want to put it all over your face, like throw it all over your face and then look cakey throughout the day? Instead, just apply where it is needed, like my T-zone, which gets extremely oily. So nicely pushing the powder in, so that again there is no layer, but actually the powder is into my skin, so that it looks nice. And then whatever is left on my brush, I'm just going to take that under my eyes. There's no actual powder under my eyes because they're extremely dry, as I mentioned. So I just wanted to have a tiny bit, just that is needed. Now you see, I still have that nice shine and glow over my face, but it is not looking oily, but looking very naturally glowy, right? And that is all for the powder. Now if you notice, I have not powdered this area of my face because I have already put a powder bronzer over here. So that's a layer of powder is already done there and I don't need it anymore. And the region that is left, the blush region, I'm going to put a powder blush over it. So again, I don't need to put a powder over it and then apply a brush, because that's just layering powder over powder, doesn't make sense. So just put a powder blush over it. And for the blush, I'm using this Swiss Beauty Baked Blush because I like my face little dewy, as I mentioned. So I'm going to take this nice peach color, and whenever you are applying a blush, just make sure you dust off excess if your blush is very pigmented. If you know your blush is not as pigmented, you can directly go, but I know these blushes are very pigmented, so I just dab the extra and then apply. And now when I'm applying the blush, I'm going to start from here where I want the pigmentation the maximum, bring it up, and then whatever is left, just bring that towards my this region to make it more youthful looking. So that way, again, your face is lifted, you look more young and beautiful, of course. I am doing this circular motion. I know many of you will be confused, like this would move my foundation, but I am doing it with very light hand, like really light hand. So you don't have to worry that it will move the products beneath it. It is not going to do that. And if you have ever gone overboard, take your beauty blender and just dab it. It will just pick up the blush very easily. And yeah, see how simple it is and how beautiful everything is looking. Nothing is looking ashy, muddy or anything like that. Yeah. Now when my base is nice and complete and everything is looking absolutely beautiful, I'm just going to set it with a nice setting spray. Nothing in excess is needed. Then just dabbing everything well. And guys, this is how the base is looking. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning, and as I said, equally beautiful in real life. So you should go and follow these tips and do your own makeup and let me know what do you think about this. And if you want me to follow more such videos, like make it a series kind of a thing where I follow other YouTubers tips and tricks and do my makeup and show you how it is working, you should drop it in the comment section below. And please do not forget to give this video a big fat thumbs up, and if there is anything that you want me to make videos on, drop that too in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to do it. Until then, take care. Tada!